Hey everybody, Dustin Carnes here, Editor-in-Chief for TalkAndroid.com, and today we are going to be doing a review of the Motorola Droid X2 on Verizon. This is a 4.3-inch screen device with a 1 GHz dual-core processor. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at the physicalities of this phone, and then we'll get into software. So starting out on the front, up here we've got our earpiece right here, flat 4.3-inch screen, diagonally of course. We've got our Verizon logo right down here, and then we've also got our buttons. Now these are not capacitive buttons, much like the Droid X. These are actually press-in buttons. Starting over here you've got your menu button, home button, back button, and search button. Now down here you've also got your microphone. So we'll go ahead and pop over the bottom. Relatively flat, except for you've got a lanyard clip right here, heading over to the right side of the device. Again, it's relatively flat, and you've got your volume rocker. Up on the top, you've got your power button and lock button. You've got your 3.5mm headphone jack. Noise canceling microphone over there. Head over to the other side. Flat all the way across until you get to the right-hand side where you've got your USB cable and your HDMI, or your USB port rather, and your HDMI port. And on the back, you've got your 8-megapixel camera right here. It does do HD video. Dual flash. And we've also got, looks like our speaker is right back here, right there, and probably more noise cancellation right here. So we'll go ahead and pop the battery off, show you how to do that. You just kind of grab it right here and just pull back, and then just snap it up, like so. We've got a 3.7 volt 1500 mAh battery right in here, 1500 being relatively standard. Some batteries come in at about 1300, 1350, so you get a little bit more out of this one than you would out of some, but it's still relatively standard. As far as getting the battery out, there's a little battery pull tab right here. You just grab it. It even says battery release, just pull, so we're going to do that, and it just pops right out. Make sure to catch it. Don't drop this. You've also got an 8 gig micro SD card right here. Comes stock with the phone. And then we're going to go ahead and get that back in there. Get our battery back in, and we'll go ahead and power this puppy up so you guys can start getting excited over this thing here. We can get the cover back on, that is. There we go. Alright, so we're going to start it up. We're just going to press and hold the power button here at the top. Wait for our green light to come up. There it is. First you get your splash screen with the Motorola logo. It says dual core technology right down there. Just wait for this to finish coming up. We should be getting our little droid voice here in just a second. Any second now. There it was. Typical Droid logo, Droid eye, creepy looking thing, but we've all come to know and love. So we're going to let this finish starting up here. Let it finish. Alright, so now we're to our first lock screen. Obviously we're going to be doing Moto Blur on this, and you've got your unlock slider and you've got your mute slider. Can mute it, unmute it, sound is off, sound is on. So we'll go ahead and unlock this thing. Basic Moto Blur UI, you know, Motorola's special UI. And swap through here. And it's a little bit laggy right out of the box. It's a little laggy. But all in all, feels pretty solid. When you're holding it in your hand, it's got that kind of flat rubber feel back here, and just like the Droid X, it's got this little hump right here. So, alright, so we'll go ahead and get into the software part, everything everybody wants to know. So we'll start off with our quadrant. Everybody says that this may or may not be the best thing to run, but hey, we get a lot of questions on it, so we'll go ahead and let it run through quadrant, let you take a look at that test. We'll run a full benchmark. Runs through CPU test pretty fast, memory pretty fast, I/O as well. I know the graphics are relatively good. I've already run this test a couple of times, so when it gets into graphics, we'll let you see things like frames per second. Down here we've got right at about 14. For this one we've got, this one really varies. Been seen as low as 20, as high as 60. $3D planet test. Frames per second standing right at about 40 or so. 3D DNA strand test, we're hitting right at about 30 frames per second, a little bit more maybe. We'll go ahead and proceed. That's quite a quadrant score. That's nothing to scoff at there. We've got 2651. Looks like about twice that of a Nexus 1 running 2.2. Now, of course, this is a newer device than the Nexus 1, obviously. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take a look at LinPack here. Now, this is a dual-core processor, so I'll let you take a look at a single-thread and multi-thread run-through. Single-thread, relatively consistent at right at about 40 megaflops. Run it here a couple of times so you can see. Okay, now we're going to run multi-thread a couple of times, a few times. Get a little bit higher than that. 52. 68, that's pretty good. 65. 61, so not bad test runs at all. Go ahead and hop back over here. And of course everybody's wondering, you know, with Verizon speed, how's Verizon speed? Now of course this is not a 4G LTE phone. However, if you're on Verizon, you know that Verizon has one of the fastest 3G networks available. So we'll go ahead and hop down here to our speed test. Now just to give you a comparison, I've got an Evo 3D over here that runs on Sprint. To give you a comparison, we are going to run these tests here. As you can see, the one on the left, the Droid X2, is already running through its uploads, or its download speeds. This one over here on the right with Sprint is just starting, and those are those aren't the best speeds at all. So it looks like download on the Droid X2, we got 774 kilobits per second. We got 56K over on the right hand side with Sprint. And it looks like Verizon's holding fast on upload speeds right around 820, 850, something like that. And Sprint is still running through here. Came back at about 167. So as you can see, you know, you got a big difference here. Verizon has always had one of the fastest networks that I've seen here in the States. So, and just to give you guys another idea, we'll go ahead and run a comparison on the browser. So we get a lot of questions on that. So we'll be going and hopping to talkandroid.com, both at the same time here. If we can spell it right, that is. Alright. So we'll get them to go at the same time. So you can take a look and compare how quick they load. 1, 2, 3. Well, actually, we'll try to get them to both go at the same time here. Alright. So here we go. Try this again. 1, 2, 3. Verizon's coming back quite a bit faster here. Still waiting for it to even come up over on Sprint's side here. There we go. So as you can see, not a bad browser at all. We've already got Flash up and running. Over on the left-hand side, we'll go ahead and just kind of take Sprint out of its misery there. Let you take a look here. As you can see, Flash is running on here relatively smoothly. A little bit of lag, but not too terribly bad. And of course, this is a Flash-capable device. Go ahead and pop a video up here so you can see that. So very smooth, especially running on 3G. No buffering, no pauses at all. So anyway, so that's the browser test. This one obviously wiped the floor with the Evo 3D. So again, this is going to be the TouchWiz UI, or I'm sorry, not TouchWiz. This is going to be the MotoBlur UI. And let's hop back into the apps. Let's see what kind of stuff we got in here. We got the Blockbuster app, the Amazon Kindle app, Amazon MP3. Backup Assistant also comes with this. We can go ahead and take a look at the camera here real quick. take a look of my lovely table here. Take a look at some of the picture modes we've got: single shot, panorama, multi-shot. Head into the settings real quick. So we've got options on picture resolution, video resolution, exposure, shutter tone, you know, all the stuff that you'd expect to see. Now, of course, Motorola has had some of the better cameras that I've seen. So I'll go ahead and take a quick snapshot of the table here. Why not? So there you have it. That's the camera there. We'll pop back over to the home screen. And I guess that's about it here. This device, when everything's said and done, it's a little bit laggy. I'm not a big fan of Motorola's UI, but that's just my opinion. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there who absolutely love Motorola's UI, and that's up to them. But I know that I specifically don't really care for it. So, like I said, a little bit laggy out of the box, switching home screen to home screen, but nothing too bad or noticeable really at all. If you're comparing to something else like the Evo 3D that has a little bit more capability on the CPU, you're going to see a difference. But otherwise, you probably won't be bothered by that at all. So. Again, this has been Dustin with TalkAndroid.com reviewing the Motorola Droid X2 on Verizon. All in all, a pretty sturdy phone. Feels good in the hand, built well, and we're excited to see what else Motorola has to offer in the Droid X line, especially with the Droid X3 coming out soon. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and make sure to leave your comments below.